I like reading it that way because this does one thing. It brings in that one factor that we can't control. The God factor. The factor that, when things line up just at the right time and the right way, at the right place, to put you in the right company with the right people, for God to come in and pull off a miracle, an amazing thing, whatever, something amazing. And you can't contribute it to anything but God. You ever had moments in your life where everything lined up so perfectly that you ended up at the right place at the right time, talking to the right person who happened to come to that place at the same time, and all of a sudden things worked out and you connected and God did something mighty in your life, and all you could think of was, oh, how did that happen? It's a God moment. So what happened is that she decided to do what God had called her to do, God allowed her to do, go glean in the fields so they can eat. It was her duty, her privilege, her right to go do this. And she could have chosen any number of fields out there. And she chose this one field, and she worked hard in the field. And I could see Boaz riding up on his horse. And, there were probably the Boaz groupies already there. Young ladies who were fawning and saying, this is Boaz's field. He was probably a stud, and he had money. Or maybe not money, but he was a man of substance. He had a field. He had land. So there was probably more than one woman sitting up there I saw that. More than one woman out in that field trying to get Boaz to look at them. Girls, I know you do this.
Guilty.
Guys, we do it too. We're like, maybe we can get her to just talk to me for a second. It'd be cool, and when she actually does talk to you, so I did it, but you're pretty. But and they were sitting there doing whatever they could. They were just working, but there were always the hopes that Boaz would look at them. And then Boaz rides up on his horse, and he sees the usual groupies out there, and then he sees this new young lady trying to be appropriate in my language. And he says, "Who is that? She's new. Kind of cute." And they tell her the story that she is the one who came with Naomi. She is the one who came out of Moab. She is a Moabite. And they tell her, and he knows the story. And they tell him the story of who she is. Because verse 8 says this, "Then Boaz said to Ruth, 'Now listen, my daughter, do not glean in another field or leave this one, but keep close to my young women. Let your eyes be on the field that they are reaping and go after them. Have I not charged the young men not to touch you? And when you are thirsty, go to the vessels and drink what the young men have drawn.' Then she fell on her face, bowing to the ground, and said to him, 'Why have I found favor in your eyes, that you should take notice of me, since I am a foreigner?' But Boaz answered her, 'And all that you've done for your mother-in-law since the death of your husband has been fully told to me, and how you left your father and mother, your native land, and came to a people you did not know before. The Lord repay you for what you have done, and full reward be given to you by the Lord God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge.' Then she said, 'I have found favor in your eyes, my Lord, for you have comforted me and spoken kindly to your servant, though I am not one of your servants.'" There's a lot in there. There's a lot in there. And what I see most of all is Boaz heard her story. Boaz knew her story. Boaz knew everything about her. From the time that her husband died to where she is now, he says, I have heard your story and I know how you have valued Naomi. How you have committed yourself to follow this woman that you don't have to follow. To be committed to this woman that you have no reason to be there. You could have stayed home. He says, I know this story and I know this. And he told her that and he kind of claimed her as his own at that. Because he told the young men, don't touch her. Right? Did you pick that up?
Yeah.
He said, she's mine. I got dibs. All right?
Oh my goodness.
I know that sounds vulgar, kind of mean, but guys, we've done this. You know, I had a group of guys, and you know, the first guy to talk to her, that's hers. You know, he gets the first chance. You know, if that falls through, then you know there's another guy behind him waiting. There's a pecking order in every group of guys. I don't want to be honest with you. I know, guys, I'm letting this secret out. I'm sorry. I can't go to the men's club anymore because I let the secret out.
I'll tell you a secret. Women completely ignore the pecking order.
That is true. But Boaz, top of the food chain, is his land. You're ornery tonight.
Normally tip.
Anyway, Boaz says, don't touch her.
I'm looking for tips.
Give her what she needs. And give her what she needs. Let her, and it gets even worse. It gets even better. Because Boaz says, verse 15, Boaz instructed his young men, saying, let her glean even among the sheaves, and do not reproach her. But I skipped 14. What's so special about 14? At mealtime, Boaz said to her, come to eat here. Okay, I'll go back to 14. Come here and eat some bread and dip your morsel in wine. So she got to eat with him. The other servants didn't do that. So she sat beside the reapers, and he passed to her roasted grain, and she ate until she was satisfied and had some left over. Then she rose to glean. Boaz instructed his young men, saying, let her glean among the sheaves, and do not reproach her. Also, pull out some of the bundles for her, and leave it for her to glean, and do not rebuke her. That's like finding stuff that fell off the truck, you know?
Wow.
It's good stuff. Not only is she getting these, you know, whatever she can bundle herself, but Boaz is saying, drop a bundle every now and again. All right? You know, well, okay, you're the man, Boaz, whatever, you know. So she started to get it's just amazing. Did he have to do that? No. Did he have to take care of her? Well, yes and no. Yes, he had obligations for under the law to take care of her as a widow, orphaned sojourner. And he had obligations under the law of God to redeem her as a kinsman, but the kinsman redeemer can always choose not to. But he saw in her value because she gave value to someone else. See, when we give value to other people, God sends somebody alongside of us, somebody over us to give value to us. It doesn't matter how much value we've already got in society's view. It's always nice when somebody above that gives us value too. And here's the thing. Ruth continued to give Naomi value. So we've got Boaz giving Ruth value, which is raising her up. And Ruth is still giving Naomi the value, which is raising her up. So God is looking at all the things that God can be taking care of, all the things God can be worried about in life, in this world. At that time, he saw two widowed women who were down on their luck, who were dishonored, who were shamed, who were society deemed worthless, and God in his infinite wisdom provided for them to not just provide for their needs, but uplift themselves in society. How much of it was God? How much of it was people? That's the question I've been dealing with the past couple of days. We have some things to do with it. We have some portion to do. God's commanded us to take care of those people who are less fortunate than us. But God provides also the methods and the means to give value to other people and give value to us while we do it. Isn't that amazing? Out of everything God can be worried about, out of everything that God is concerned about, He's concerned about our value and how we're seen among people and how we feel about people. When we feel downtrodden and despised, God sends somebody into our lives to bring us up. For me, that guy's name was Roy. I connected with the worthless people at my school. Roy connected with me. Roy brought me, I soon began to be the other guy with Roy. Roy would go somewhere and he says, "Harry, you're coming with me." And honestly, if you want to know where the name Hair came from, it came from Roy. Because Roy was the guy that looked at me and said, "Mike, you've got a lot of hair. We're just going to call you Hair." And that brought me, you see where that's taken me 20 odd years later. And if it wasn't for the value that Roy placed in me, I would probably have gone down a different road. I would have seen life differently and still think of myself as a worthless, geeky human being. Still kind of do. But my job, our job, is to value each other and value those less fortunate than us. I feel like giving you it's like my rules of driving down the road, right? You're driving down the road. When you drive, realize a couple of things. One is you're not the biggest car on the road. So occasionally you got to get out of the way and let the other guys pass. But you're also not the smallest car on the road. So occasionally so look out for the other guys and help them along the way. Other than that, keep it straight between the lines. Value people. God values you. God loves you. God likes you. God thinks you're worth everything.